and gentlemen, people of all ages, we are back at the Madhouse, van house conversions and many other things. I'm going to be doing a quick video today on why we choose to use Adventurer windows over Dometic SEITZ windows that we used to use. We choose to try and always use Dometic previously, now Adventurer, because they open, they've got a bug screen, they've got a blind, which is what you need if you're going to be going on substantial trips to hot or cold countries, because ventilation is very important in a van. And then obviously in the summer, and we've had a very hot summer here in England and are still having one, you probably want to sleep with lots of windows open, but you don't want bugs flying inside. So having the bug screen and the blind means you can choose the ratio of the opening that you want with the bug screen and blind. You can, still have the window open and have the blind up with a little gap so you can get some airflow in, but then all the sunlight doesn't turn the van into an oven. So there's many benefits to it. And then also obviously if you open them up, they nearly hinge up 90 degrees, the ones that we use. You can get sliders, but we tend to use the hinging ones. So they hinge nearly 90 degrees up when you open them out. Gives you all these picture windows everywhere. And to me, it's all about the view out of the van as well as the view in. So take from that what you will. I'm going to basically do a video of me bringing the van in. This is a small van that was built by someone locally. Actually, he's done a cracking job of it, but he wants a window on the sliding door because he's got no windows. So he's got a skylight and that's all. So having this window on the sliding door will make a big difference to how the van feels. So we're going to install the window for him, and I'm going to film the process of cutting the hole, how we go about doing it. It's pretty straightforward. You're cutting a hole in the side of the van. We do it very carefully, and then we seal up the cut bare metal. And then I'm going to show you the process of putting the window in and what the finished product looks like. And I'll give you a bit of an explanation why we like these windows and why I choose to use them over Dometic now. I'll give you a hint. It's predominantly, they are a better product in my opinion. Dometic have cornered the market for a long time, and their windows look quite motorhomey and dated. They are the traditional window with the silver kind of strip across the top of the window. They don't look bad, but they do look very motorhome-like. And we have fitted Dometic S4 windows, which are very limited on size. I'm not a big fan of the process of fitting them, and I think they've discontinued them now anyway, but they were tinted. So they look better externally, but you had less size options and they were a bit more of a faff to fit. The Dometic S4 windows are exactly the same process as the Adventurer, which is where they've obviously copied these from. That's how the world works. You see a product, you make a better product, you sell your product. So the good thing with the Adventurer windows is they are, first of all, the frame on the outside is aluminium. So that's one thing. The Dometic windows are like injection molded plastic. Whenever they get knocked before we fit them, or when they've been damaged in transit, we've never knocked one before we fitted it, sorry, but when they've come and they've got damage from being boxed up, or the courier has hit the box on something, if it hits the corner, it completely breaks off. We have had one Adventure window where it's been slightly knocked in transit, and we could actually bend it back if you were careful about it because the frame's aluminium, whereas the Dometic window was a write-off. I think I've still got a Dometic window up the top. I was considering fitting on my work van if I could get round to fixing the damage on it, but it's almost beyond repair, to be honest, because it's broken off in so many pieces on the corner. You'd be there for a day trying to bond it all back together again. So yeah, they're a better window, and the inner frame, the blind and the bug screen, is just head and shoulders above what you get with the Dometic. So final thing is they're quite substantially cheaper than the Dometic windows. So windows for vans are quite a big cost, and we don't charge a markup on our product. Some places do, some people don't. So for us, we want to give the customer the best possible products to go in their van. So if someone releases something that's better than something we're currently using, we're going to push to use that. But when it's cheaper than the one we're currently using and it's better, it's a win-win for everyone. So we get to fit a better window at that point, and then also the customer gets a far better experience when they're using the van. It looks better, it functions better. That's a win in every aspect, in my opinion. So again, I'll stop talking. This is going to be a video of me fitting one, and I'll show you the finished product.
I'll just put my rules in.
The hole is cut, I thought I would just show you what comes if you order a window from Jackson Leisure. So it comes in two separate boxes, blind, window. I've taken off the protective plastics. You need to do this when it arrives just to check there isn't any damage to it. And as you can see, it all looks to be lovely. So again, this is powder coated aluminium and it hasn't got the kind of grey strip that looks a bit old fashioned on the Dometic SEITZ windows. To me, that looks just way better. Satin black, powder coat. It comes in two parts. The difference with this in a Dometic window is you would sandwich the outer and the inner with a wooden frame between it. These, basically, you have the outer, which is the window, and then this inner frame, which is what goes the other side of the wooden rectangle that you make. The size of the wooden rectangle is the size of the window, basically, so you would want an inner space of 800 by 450 of a batten that I think we use 25mm tannalized batten, because obviously it's moisture resistant to an extent, so that's what we tend to use, sanded, screwed together. We tend to cut it down to like 35 by 25, because you don't need it to be really wide, and often when you go for a bigger window, it's going to be meeting some metal work and stuff like that, so you want it to be kind of as thin as you can get away with, really. And yeah, so basically doing it this way means you can fit this blind afterwards, so you're not worrying about blinds opening and closing correctly. The problem with the Dometic ones is you screw them in a bit too tight and then you have problems with the blinds going up and down. So the good thing with these, again, you're fitting the window first, then you fit the blind afterwards, and there's, 4 screws, I think, so you just screw it in the corners. So this is kind of independent of the window fitting process, which means this will always work properly, which again is another thing I like. So we fit all the windows, and then the next day or later that day, we then go around, fit all the blinds, check they're sitting right. And again, these are new blinds. They did come with a white plastic blind, which was still good, but this is now aluminium. So for the money, you're getting an aluminium outer frame, inner frame, and an aluminium blind frame as well. So you could have this as the visual frame when the wall's finished. So you could have that on the inside of your wall. It comes with corner caps. So that covers this bit. Then you can get to the tension on the blind. The powder coated black looks quite slick. So depending on your color scheme, if you've got the right color scheme, black may time with it really well, and you don't have to worry about it looking motorhomey, because I don't think they do. They're high quality. They don't look plastic like the Dometic ones do. So yeah, next bit is we're going to get this into the van. So if you just wipe the frame of that down. Right, the window is now in. It's all sealed up. We haven't taken the plastic off, but I'll give you a little peek. It looks pretty slick once you peel it back. So it's a tinted acrylic double glazed panel. These are, again, to reiterate, powder coated aluminium. Aluminium should last for bloody ever. And the fact it's powder coated obviously will protect it from corrosion and all that sort of stuff. These windows open up a pretty substantial amount, nearly 90 degrees. They've got multiple positions for the little locks to be in, so I'll jump in a second and show you the blind and the bug screen and how that works. You can see the bug screen and the blind from here. So it's reflective on the outside, it's totally black on the inside. Obviously bug screen there, and they magnet together along this whole thing, so you can do it one hand pretty much. Whereas the Dometic ones have got a really annoying pinching mechanism, so you definitely wouldn't be opening and closing them very easily. I've got customers that struggle to open and close them with two hands, and you know, they just have to get used to them with the Dometic ones, but these are just way more straightforward and make more sense. So as you can see, we've got the blind and bug screen section fitted. That screws into this wooden frame. The wooden frame is sandwiched between the outer frame and the thin inner frame, which you would have seen in the previous clip laid out on the box. This is all aluminium. It's screwed in with 4 screws in each corner. So we've done this batten 25 by 30. Gives you enough of a lip for this to then screw to, but not too big that it fouls on any of the inner metal. We've treated all of this metal with Beta Seal windshield primer. That's what we do with all bits of metal we cut on a van. You can see down here, it's a bit unsightly, but it's going to be covered by a panel and you've got to do it because otherwise you end up with rust eventually. So we've blown all this off, thoroughly got all the metal shavings and everything from where we've cut the window, obviously, and hoovered everything up. So that's as thorough as you can pretty much be. This is all leftover Dodo mat that he had on the panel, so I'm sure he'll probably put some back, but we've cut him a new panel with the window opening that's just being lacquered at the moment. It's just drying. Again, bug screen and blind, or blind and bug screen, however you want to say it. They're really slick, really nice kind of concertina black. Again, inner frame is aluminium, so it should stand the test of time. You can open it and separate it with one hand. You've got the option to kind of leave it in that channel, or it can be fully shut behind it. So that's when the gasket is doing what it's supposed to be doing. So that's fully closed, and then you can open it and you can put them in the channel. You can just about see there, it's now in that channel. There's now an air gap. You can do that with all 4 of them. And the window is open but locked. So you've got a bit of airflow. So if you've got an extractor fan running, it will be able to pull air in from outside. You can still have the bug screen down so you don't get any bugs coming in. You've got airflow coming in, extracting it out, good ventilation, very important. And you can obviously have the blind up a bit, so you've got some privacy. Again, the windows are tinted, so you're gonna have privacy during the day anyway. And they've also got these little locks on here. The Dometic windows have got a funny button you have to push to make these move, right? And I've got so many customers that don't even click that that's what it is, and they force it because they are plastic and they will eventually kind of open. But you're basically just breaking the locking mechanism from the get-go. It seems to be very common, and these are very clearly something to, you know, you need to do something with. Now that's locked, so it doesn't move. It's red, it's obvious. That is a lock on the latch, so the latch will not operate when that is clicked. Overall, just a better, slicker design. They feel more solid as well, these catches, than the Dometic ones. The Dometic ones have got loads of give in them. You can see they've put like a 90-degree angle in it here to rigid it up. So just all round better. Also the older Dometics, if you've ever used a motorhome window, they've got this annoying mechanism where you have to open the window out and then release it to click onto different stop settings, whereas these are just on gas struts. The newer Dometic windows, I'll be fair to them, have got gas struts the same as these, so you can just put it exactly where you want it. So to summarise, we are big fans of these windows. They look smart. If you like bonded windows, by all means, have a bonded window. They are cheaper. They are single glaze though, so keep that in mind. But I do understand some people do like the kind of blacked out bonded panel look. So if that's your thing, then this probably doesn't apply to you because you're probably looking at those instead of an opening window. But these obviously open a lot. So we tend to go with these because we want our customers to have ventilation, and obviously it gives you a nice view out where, you know, when you're parked up somewhere, when we've occasionally got good weather in the UK. So I'm not a big fan of Dometic overall as a company. They seem to be overcharging for their products, and obviously that's been picked up on by people, and they are now making their own versions of, you know, fridges and windows in this case. So, you know, they're obviously making quite a big markup, and as far as I'm aware, some of the bigger companies that sell to people in the trade like me can't really sell their products at a particularly good price and aren't really making any money on them. So often I'll call up to buy, I don't know, a fridge or get a price on a Dometic product. And this is true with other companies as well, less so with Thetford, but more so with Dometic. There's barely any margin for these companies to sell to them, me, because there's other companies that are maybe buying in slightly more bulk or whatever, and they're able to sell them to retail at the same price that they're able to sell it to me, which makes no sense. So Dometic must be pocketing that margin that they should be passing on to their big buyers. So to me, that's not really good practice, and I think they should be looking after them a bit better, which is also why other products are coming out that are cheaper, like these windows, and are better. So buck up your ideas, Dometic, because you're becoming an old fogey company, and I'm seeing your products in the same light. So yeah, we don't use Dometic fridges anymore. So we used to. I had a CRX 140 fridge in our library bus. Spent a lot of money on it, brand new. I would never buy another one. It performs exactly the same as fridges at half the cost, and once you've changed the front on it, it looks the same. It's a plastic under counter fridge. So anyway, hopefully this has given you a bit of info on these windows and swayed you to buy those instead of spending more money on a Dometic SEITZ window. I think they look better, they're better made, and it's a no-brainer in my opinion. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Might be car related to see what we're doing, and hopefully soon we'll have a completed van tour of one of the 2 customer vans we've got outside, and then obviously another one hopefully a week or 2 later. So stay tuned for that, and thank you for liking and subscribing. See you soon.